Hi, and welcome to Belly. And we're here with just a kind of a fun installment around the SelectUSA event, which will be happening in June in the US. And it's a great event for helping to really provide companies coming into the US with information and connections to help support their successful entry. So today we're joined by Dave Roccio, or with Dave Roccio, from Lando and Anastasi. Welcome, Dave.
Hey, thanks, Bill. I appreciate
it. Well, it's great. So we're really going to kind of do this rapid fire, just a couple of questions. And again, we're trying to give companies coming into the US a sense of what to expect and how to advantage themselves the most in coming to SelectUSA. So can you tell us a little bit about what you do for companies coming into the US? How do you help support them?
Yeah, great. Thanks, Bill. And thanks for having me. So I'm with Lando and Anastasi, like you said. We're an intellectual property boutique law firm up in Boston. So we help clients protect their patents, inventions, trademarks, all of the above. And so for companies coming into the U.S., whether they, where they are in that spectrum and what they've protected so far in their home countries, whether they've protected anything in the U.S., there's pretty strict rules and regulations and requirements to meet. So I hope when I attend the summit to connect with those companies, learn where they're at, and hopefully provide some information that can help them avoid, pitfalls down the line or making a decision that they come to regret, when they actually enter the U.S.
That's awesome. So I think this is, if I'm not mistaken, the 9th year of SelectUSA, this upcoming version. And so why do you participate? What attracts Lando and Anastasi to the event itself?
Yeah, I think, for personal reasons and for firm reasons, I love making the connections. I like meeting companies. It's always interesting to see kind of what types of technology are going back and forth across borders. But one thing that became very clear as I in my practice really have met with different foreign companies, international companies, it became very clear that there was really a disconnect between the impression or what was assumed to be the right answer in terms of intellectual property from a lot of these companies and what the actual rules are and requirements are. And when you have some of these discussions, the surprise that some of these company owners and founders have is astonishing in terms of what they you tell them this one rule, and they're like, wait, no, we thought it was this, and that answer can have a really big impact on their business. So I found in by attending events like the investment summit and connecting these companies and hopefully be able to educate them and help them, like kind of like I said in your first question, like avoid those things. One of the first companies I ever met at the first summit I went to, 3-4 years ago now, it was I think a Korean company. They were very excited to enter the United States. We had great discussions, and then I asked them a very simple question to get at a point with one of the very strict U.S. rules or laws, and that the answer to that question had a very was a negative impact on what they were planning to do. And they had no idea. And it just showed how, first of all, companies like this, there's so much information they're trying to process and consider. So I'm just hoping just on the little small front of the IP that really help them kind of avoid any mistakes, make good decisions early on where they set themselves up for success.
Well, and I think that leads us into the next question really well, which is, thinking about, in your 3 or 4 years experience going to SelectUSA and seeing companies who leverage the opportunity well, and obviously there are those that may not quite as well. But what are some of the things you'd recommend to companies that are going in terms of how to get the most out of the event?
Yeah, it's a great question. It's taken a few years for myself just to figure out, what the best way to attend such an event is. The first year I went, it's a large event. There's lots of people, there's lots of programming, there's a lot to, it's almost overwhelming. So I would, number one is go in with a plan and really have at least have kind of surveyed who's attending. They have a great networking platform, maybe get some meetings set up ahead of time. So at the very least, you kind of have some structure around what you're who you're meeting, what you're trying to do. If you go in just, trying to do everything, and you'll do nothing because you'll just be overwhelmed by the information, and it's very difficult. I think the programming is great, especially some of the smaller group sessions where you can really meet people, ask questions. But in that vein, I found some of the best results and the greatest impact to be just some of the networking that's done either at the event itself or some of the ancillary events that go on, in the evening, or some organizations host different receptions or different events or different programming in conjunction with it, with the summit. And I found just meeting people and connecting with them and growing your base, and, you never know, who you're going to meet. For example, Bill, we met at an ancillary event to the summit, and we've grown our relationship just in different organizations and talking and communicating and connecting. So that's really, I think, one of the greatest benefits. And you never know who you're going to connect with or what you're going to, learn from somebody that really kind of pulls the puzzle pieces together for you when it comes, when you need a question answered or you need help with something. So I think going in with a plan, being focused, and taking advantage of the opportunities to meet people are the greatest things you can do.
That's fantastic. And come in rested, probably another.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Give yourself some time, get set up, take a break if you need to.
Yeah, probably remove some of the distractions from home. Make sure your plate is clear, so you're not having to getting distracted from emails or calls from the home office and all that kind of stuff. But
you don't want
really, really good advice. That's great. Yeah, the whole idea of having a plan, so critical. And I like you. I've found the preset meetings using the networking tool to be really productive. And certainly, if you have a plan, you can really target key people, resources that can help you. So, but yeah, rest up.
Yeah, no, it's a lot, and you come out at the end of the week, and it's like, whoa.
Well, and it probably probably the last thing is make sure you're ready to follow up too. So you kind of have to manage that. So your priorities, you're kind of following up with those key people as well. So.
No, that's a great piece of advice, Bill. You come out at the end with your stack of business cards or your, list of people, or, make sure you're connecting, make sure you're following up, because that's, if you don't, it'll just die, and then that'll be the end of it.
Like vegetables at the market, they perish.
Exactly.
Cool. Well, thanks so much, Dave. This was great. I think the what we can all do at the summit is just so strong, and certainly we want to, all of us participating, and you like us are exhibiting, we want to make sure there's a real open door for communication. So it's great to have you there with us, and excited to spend more time with you there. So thanks for taking time for this conversation today.
No, and thanks for having me again, Bill. And I agree, growing the sense of community here with the people who are attending, and we can really build our network. It's great. So I appreciate it.
Thank you very much. And to everybody listening, make sure to like and subscribe and do all the fun stuff that allows you to continue to be a part of the conversation here. So we look forward to hearing from you all. Bye for now.